What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you as ever for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. So, looking at what I wanted to have a chat about today is, real quick before we go, if you haven't done so already, if you could subscribe for me, I'd really appreciate it. My socials are at the bottom of the screen now, as you see. So yeah, if you could subscribe to them, I would really appreciate it. So, what I wanted to have a little bit of a chat about today is kind of sort of like that. Almost like a little half-season mark. I'm a little bit late to the party, so what I wanted to just quickly go through was just kind of where we're at, what we're doing, all of that kind of stuff, and how I've felt about everything so far for the half of this year overall. So first things first, if we just have a quick look in terms of league position in the table. So obviously currently we're sat. I'm not sure why, but for some reason I said sixth when we're sat first. On a plus 29 goal difference. Burnley are on 52, Sheffield United are on 52, and Sunderland are on 50 points at this current moment in time. Form-wise, in terms of form, we are the form, or us and Burnley are the two form teams in the league at the moment. We've both, over the last 5 games, won 3, drawn 2, so that's the same for both of us overall. Obviously, I know how we all feel in terms of how that those 2 draws come in. So just quickly, I'll just bring it up on the screen, the team form. So 4-0 win at home to Oxford, then it was 2-0 away to Stoke. We were getting that away day hoodoo out of our system, and then a 1-0 away with one of the best goals you're going to see this season to Derby. Then we capitulate against Blackburn, and then we did exactly the same thing against Hull, which was to just completely capitulate and throw away a 3-1 lead, which would have taken us 3 points clear at the top. So it is what it is. We're still top, but it's just more of just looking at kind of where we're at with it all now. So in terms of fixtures at the moment, so for kind of like the next month or so, if you like, we've got Harrogate Town coming up this weekend, the FA Cup. We've then got Sheffield Wednesday at home. We've then got Norwich at home. So 2 key home games that we need to win. And then there's the biggie. We've got Burnley away Monday, 27th of January. And that's, excuse me, that's at Burnley. So that should be quite an interesting game. And then we have Cardiff at home on Saturday, February the 1st. So in the space of about 10 days, we've got about 3 games to play, those last 3 games overall. So the Norwich at home, Burnley away, Cardiff at home. So it's that Burnley fixture that's going to be, I don't know why I say it like that, Burnley. It's going to be the Burnley fixture that's going to be the one that's going to kind of potentially make things difficult for us overall. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do, whether or not we're going to rise to the top. It's away from home at the pretty much stingiest defence in the league overall. They've got a goal difference of plus 22, but they've only conceded 9, whereas we've conceded 10 more at 19 goals already this season. So that's going to be a key fixture, I think, overall. One of the other things that I just wanted to just kind of point out, and I just wanted to bring some statistics up overall, in terms of the coach percentage win. So this is going back to from the season 1920 all the way up to present day overall. So obviously those 3 seasons at the start, they're all Bielsa, and that's 61% win ratio, 2 points per game, 47% win ratio, 1.6 points per game, 19% ratio in 21-22, 0.9 points per game. Then in comes the absolute weirdo Jesse Marsh with 33%, 1.3, then a 20%, 0.9. Scoobs, I'm not going to badmouth Scoobs, he's a good guy. And then you've got, let me see, Allardyce, who, yeah, the less said about that, the better. And then Farke's first season, 59% win ratio in his first season with 2 points per game. And then so far this season, 58 win percentage with another 2 points per game. So looking at it, let's see, what did we do with the Championship 2019-2020? 128, drawn 9, lost 9 overall, and then Oh, what a season that was, by the way. Yes, it's won 28, drawn 9, lost 9. First season in the Premier League, won 18, lost 15. And then it was the losing of 13 in 2021-22 that kind of did it for us overall. Scoobs, I don't want to talk about Scoobs. Like I said, I don't want to badmouth him. But Marsh, when he came in, won 4, lost 5. And in the second season, he won 4, lost 10. Allardyce came in. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about Allardyce because he lost 3 games and drew 1. He did nothing overall. Farke in his first season, 27 wins, 9 draws, 10 losses. Almost identical to the championship winning season, apart from just the additional win. And so far this season, we're on 15 wins, 8 draws, and only 3 losses so far. So in terms of where you look at it overall, we have started off okay for me. And with the manager thing, I just want to highlight that Farke's not doing. Yes, we criticise him in some things, and quite rightly so. But his actual percentage winning record is good at this moment in time. So we do have to keep that in mind for where we're at overall. So looking at it as well, let's just see stats wise. So brief snapshot. So top rated, top scorers, top assists. So Tanaka's the top rated at 7.4. You've then got Junior Firpo, Pascal Struijk, and then Jaden Bogle. Top scorers, Joel Peru with 10. He's having a good season so far, only halfway through, so he could potentially be on for a 20-goal season. Brendan Aronson in with 7, more about him in a minute. Daniel James with 6, and Nonto has 4 goals overall. Top assists, Joel Peru with 5, Nonto with 5, Manor Solomon with 4, and Dan James with 3. So when you look at it in terms of from our attacking lineup is very, very, very good overall in terms of how I feel about the squad. But one of the things that I did want to have a quick look at, if you just kind of go into overall stats, which is when you look at goals and assists, Joel Peru's on 15, Brendan Aronson's on 9, Dan James is on 9. So that's a really, really good statistic. I'm really happy with that. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased that Peru's bagging like he should be doing. Could he be a bit more clinical? Not really. His accuracy in front of goal is a 20, I think it's nearly 25% accuracy overall, where you've got Brendan Aronson and his accuracy in front of goal is something along the lines of about, I want to say like 11% overall in terms of where he sits. But the other one that I wanted to just touch on slightly was the big chances missed. So chances created, Aronson's got 40, Nonto 36, Rothwell's got 35. But when you look at big chances missed, Brendan Aronson's got 6, Matteo Joseph has got 6, and Ramazani's got 5. So that 6, we all know, with Brendan Aronson, he could be on 10 plus goals already this season. And with Matteo Joseph, a little bit more composure in front of goal, could see him doing quite well. And Ramazani, it's difficult with Ramazani because he's not had sort of massive input in terms of the season so far because he's been injured for quite a substantial amount of it. But I think it's probably fair if we just go through in terms of the general starting lineup as it works overall. So when you look at it for players, so looking at the last starting 11 in terms of the season stats. So if I just have a quick chat, Meslier, we all know about Meslier. We know about his issues. We know about his problems and the fact that he genuinely does need to be taken out of the firing line. And for me, that should be Woba that's coming into that. Not Woba, sorry. Why did I say Woba? It should be Darlow that's coming into that. Bogle, for me, he's having a good season. We're starting to see in terms of how he shines and what he does really, really well. Rodon, I think overall for the season, he started off having quite a few difficulties in terms of how he plays, what he does, and the way he goes about his business. But he's now started to come to the fore a hell of a lot more. You've got Struijk, who I think is one of the best central defenders in the Championship. you could see how much we missed him against Hull in particular. That partnership between him and Rodon, for me, is very, 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 very good. So I'm happy with that. So then we've got left-back position. Firpo at the start of the season before he got injured was looking okay, looking good. More played like a left centre forward than a left back, but he was doing okay from how I feel about him overall. You've then got Byram, who is, like I said, he's just Mr. Reliable. He does the right things at the right time. It's just a shame that his body is made of, cardboard. He's just very, very brittle and can break down. It's difficult for him to play the sheer volume of games that you have to play in the Championship, but he has been reliable and extremely reliable so far this season. So I'm happy on that basis. Wobe was filled in a couple of times as well. He was, up until the Hull game, he was doing okay. So it just kind of, it is what it is. Rothwell, brilliant. Rothwell's been really good. His dynamism in terms of bringing us forwards and the way that he plays overall so far this season, when he came into the situation, obviously the injury for Ampadu and Gruev, it's really made a change in terms of our hand was forced for the players that we had to use, and obviously with Gilivogi coming in as well as a free agent to supplement that. I mean, I don't need to say anything about Gilivogi. We all love him as a player. I think he's incredible. You've then got Tanaka, who has just been an absolute revelation. He hardly loses the ball. He tracks back really well. He's good in the tackle. He's exceptionally good in the pass. Got his first goal against Hull, and that's what we should have been celebrating, but we haven't been, which is infuriating, but it is what it is. Ampadu has come back, and that defensive midfield role is his sewn up. He's very, very good. What Ampadu brings to the table, and you saw it in the Stoke game and the Derby game, is that little bit of, for me, steel in the midfield that we kind of lack sometimes with Tanaka and Rothwell, when they can be a little bit sort of lightweight overall. But that's not a criticism of them, just in terms of that's how I feel in terms of the way that works. So our general attacking lineup so far, so the front three, taking out of consideration Perot, who has been the overall starter, Dan James was having a cracking season. And then the last two games just kind of tipped off a little bit, but nothing too bad. 3 assists, 6 goals, so that's 9 G&A so far this season. He is so good, and he frightens the life out of defenders. Just absolutely frightens the life out of defenders. Aronson is on 7 goals, 2 assists, has played the number 10 role well for me. You've got to get out of your head that he's that creative number 10. He's a destructive number 10. He's always scurrying around for the ball, always trying to create chances. He can be a little bit wishy-washy in front of goal, as shown by the number of big chances that he's missed. He could have had a lot more goals if he'd just been a little bit more composed overall in front of goal. Manor Solomon, so far, he's now starting to show what he's actually available for, what we brought him in for, and how good he is. There's levels, and you can see it when he plays now. You couldn't when he came back after. You saw it like the first couple of games. Then obviously he got injured, but now you can see those levels that he brings to the table. 4 assists, 3 goals so far this season. Has looked very, very good. You've then got the option of either Nonto and Ramazani. Ramazani's been injured. I still don't think Ramazani's fully fit. Nonto started off really, really well, and it's kind of gone off the boil a little bit. It seemed like at the start of the season he'd really taken that kind of almost like leadership role, if you like, had started taking it a little bit seriously, and it was suiting him, but he's just kind of gone off the boil a little bit in terms of the way that he works. He's a phenomenal player. He has so much ability. The one thing I wish he would do a little bit more often, because he's got an absolute thunderbolt of a shot, is I wish he would shoot outside of the box, because he is accurate at the same time as well. Matteo Joseph, it's a difficult one, because he was on fire before the start of the season in pre-season, and he's just not reached the heights that we all thought he was going to reach so far this season. And again, 6 big chances missed for him so far this season. Composure is something that he lacks, and sometimes I think he's trying a little bit too hard because he's not starting. But then when you've got Perot that's up there, and yes, he might be a little bit anonymous in games sometimes, but then he's got 10 goals, he's got 5 assists. The goal that he scored against Hull was brilliant. He is so clinical in front of goal, in terms of you can almost when he got the ball against Hull and ran to the outside and put the ball in, you just knew he was going to score just because he's accurate. He is very, very effective in front of goal, and that is why, Farke is playing him overall pretty much. He's now Farke's main man. So as I look at it in terms of a season where we're at halfway through the season, I think we're doing okay. We're top of the league. We've got to keep doing what we're doing. We've got to keep positive and winning games, etc., so on and so forth. I'd probably give us so far a 7 out of 10, I think. Just purely because of how good our defence has been, how good the midfield has been, how good the attacking line has been, and that the strength in depth that we've got now overall for rotation is good. I think the thing that soured it for everybody is the 2 draws at the back end of the Christmas period, so Blackburn and then Hull. And technically speaking, we shouldn't still be top of the table because of just it's madness that we are still top of the table. But what it shows you is that this league is not as strong as what it was. And I think if a team now goes on a bit of a run, hopefully us, you could potentially pull away at the top, but we need to grab it with both hands and we need to run with it. And we absolutely need to run with it. In terms of what we need to see in the transfer window, 10, definitely. 9 would be nice. Keeper, maybe, but I don't see us doing a keeper. I'd like to see a bit more Schmidt in the second half of the season. It's difficult because you don't see what Farke sees in training. You don't see in terms of his fitness levels whether or not he's adapting to the league. But it would be good to see him a little bit more overall. So yeah, at the moment, it's a strong 7 out of 10 for me. We're top of the league, so you have to be happy with that. We could be further ahead than what we are, and we should be further ahead than what we are. Now's the time to stick the marker down and get on with it. That's going to do it for this one. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Tell me how you think we've gone on. And, yeah. Looking forward to the Harrogate game. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.